I think it's
you should be
just
able to
set
do
that
that
up before because we're
right
going
now,
live.
though.
We are live, sir.
Yeah, we are live. Let me see on oh shit.
Happy Monday, folks. Is it Monday? It feels like a Wednesday. Why am I thinking today's Wednesday? But it's such a good day, though. So those of you who are tuning in, folks, happy Wednesday. Let me just see it here. Is it popping up?
No, not yet. Just now. Hold up.
Okay. Right, I'm just pulling up the live here now. Good night, folks. Right. It's really interesting, though. Like 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. Good night,
Yeah.
everybody. This is for those of you who join in. It's been 3 years of doing sales as a profession. Quite interesting. 3 years. Ishmael, how you doing, man? Alright, so those of you who've been following sales as a profession from day one, it's just some claps, some hearts. But we're gonna be talking about the journey, where it started, how we got to where we are, and I think more importantly where we heading to next.
Yeah.
Right?
Good night,
I'm
Ishmael
joining you here
Moreno.
on the live now. Let me actually drop all the volume here so it doesn't echo.
There you go, JB, and I am bringing you in one time. There we go.
Lovely. Alright, folks, so go live. And for those of you who are now joining, who are now understanding where we're coming from, though this is dark, that's okay. Why am I so dark and IG? Oh, you see me bright?
You're good enough, man. Let's roll with that.
Cool.
Sonia, good night.
Right. So those of you who have never heard of it before, and you've probably seen Lyndon and I, we want to talk about a couple of things related to what we do. So Lyndon and I both have our own consulting businesses, but when we combine, like twins, Shazam, Lyndon, hit the side of the screen. Hit the side of the screen. Shazam, next side.
Oh, wait, next side.
Shazam.
Like Voltron.
We form sales as a profession. Right, which is a name that Lyndon came up with. So anybody who's trying to figure it out, Lyndon came up with a name which we thought was brilliant, and we did this because it was just a love of sales. Right, Lyndon, it's just something that we love, it's something that we're extremely passionate about, and I can't believe it's been 3 years since we've been doing this, my friend.
Yeah, it's been three really good years. I remember us vividly having a conversation in November of 2018, I think. 17 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, we just went straight into it. You know, we made a decision. We put some time together, and we said, you know what, let's go into it. Yeah, we actually just jotted down a few things. We said, hey, what is we want to do? Podcast, video series, conference. And if you check it, homie, everything on that list we will be able to check off in the 3 years.
Yep. And then here's the interesting thing, right? You know, I remember you were planning out a lot of things, and I was like, nah, let's just pick a date.
Yeah.
Let's just pick a date.
Yeah, that's for real. Yeah, I was planning out stuff, but that's me too, right? So we're planning out a whole set of stuff. And Jared is like, no, what's the first date? And I was like, all right, yeah, we're going with 20. We decided on 25th of January. So yeah,
25th of January. So that's what we have.
Yeah.
And I think so. I think that's what works out really well for us, because I'm very impulsive. I'm the one who's very energetic about ideas, and Lyndon is the very thought process one. Like, let's make sure we have a lot of things sorted out first before we jump into it, which I think works out well. So I think over these last 3 years, one of the key things you've taught me is patience. Like,
oh, for real?
I've honestly learned that when I get an idea, like, get excited about it, but at the same time, stop for 5 minutes and just think.
Think about it.
Is this, you know?
I'm glad you said that, because I learned a lot from you in terms of just getting this stuff out, right? And the rest of it will take care of itself after. I mean, I still know that I overcompensate as it relates in terms of thinking, but I think I've been able to put a lot of things out on the platforms as well. So yeah, man.
Yes. So let me say hi to
Bravo.
Let me say hi to sorry, is it Bravo, TT, Karen, Tisha? Karen and Tisha, you know, people who have been instrumental in our journey as well, which is very
Yeah,
key.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Definitely, definitely.
yes,
I
but
think
it
I
has
think
been
IG
an amazing 6 years. No,
I
three
think
years.
IG
Sorry.
needs to open up this. I think IG needs to open up these lives where you can have at least two more people, give it four screens, that kind of thing.
That's
Yeah,
what
the lives
Clubhouse
need to
for.
have. Yeah, but the visuals. I understand that with the clubhouse, but
So
yeah.
let's give everybody a brief rundown, right? So we started doing give everybody a brief rundown of how we got to where we are. Like, what was the
Oh.
journey for sales as a profession?
So we started off doing the lives. We started off in a real crappy audio space. We stormed rituals in West in Movie Town. The
Yeah,
lighting was bad. And then we just continued doing it from there. We started off at Starbucks every Sunday. Um, from that we actually saw a community being built, a
yeah,
sales community, which was really the goal, right? We were doing things to help salespeople, and then we saw the community and the following and everything else, and it's been a real journey from there. We started to plan the conference. With that, like it's interesting because the people that we met along the way, I didn't know them. I don't know how well Jared knew them, but Jared said, "Hey, Tisha, LaShawn, Lizel, that kind of thing," right? And then as time went on,
yeah.
we then said, "Hey, Karen," and we started putting the bits together. But a lot of this started off from social media. A lot of
That's the
this
beauty
started
of
off
it.
online. You know,
Because we were
so
all, you and I were doing our separate things, and
yes,
then we
correct.
started talking, and then we were like, hey,
Yeah,
let's just start doing it because we're
yeah,
not seeing anybody in our space talking about sales.
that's correct. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Oh, and
hey, Derek, thank you for that as well.
you did have one or two people who did try. And I mean, I'm open. The community, more thought leaders in this space is good. But I think, well, not I think, because we're still the only ones doing it. A lot of people came or tried and they didn't last. And I don't know, But you and I have a particular mantra that we love to talk, which is owning the space, and
Yeah,
that's what we believe in.
and
We don't.
setting the benchmark.
Yeah. So but I mean, for us to be here
That
for
is the
three
key
years.
thing.
I think the good thing too for us to be here for 3 years, and it's a similar conversation that I had on Saturday, is really to say thanks to the sales as a profession family, the sales as a profession community. And I think within the last year, because Jared and I have been building so many different things on our own, and it's funny too, right? Because this still sort of complement each other, right?
Yeah,
Um, we may not have been as hardcore as we were in the beginning, but it's the value that we've been able to now actually give to companies, right? So we may not have been on the social media platforms as much, but we've actually now been able to make inroads within organizations at different levels and different industries, and just really get some good feedback. But do what we love doing. And yeah, man. So it's been brilliant.
correct. I think I feel blessed with the fact of how many people we've met along this journey who have,
Yeah.
as I say, always come like indirectly part of the team, and
Hmm.
I can testify to anybody who wants to start something, start today. Stop waiting, stop second guessing. And if you want to second guess, at least start and second guess. Don't second guess and you even make the first step.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm telling you, you're gonna meet some amazing people out there. Look at them, just saying it, seamless energy.
Yeah, yeah. So so Derek, shout out to our boy Derek out there, right? And Santa
Yeah,
Barbara, California, right? Derek asking, well, he said that we are inspiration. Derek, thank you. I mean, because I think both Jared and I pay attention to what you're doing as well,
yeah.
and I think we build energies off of you also. And but he's asking who's Scotty and who's Jordan.
Listen, I will
uh,
tell people. I don't want to say this. Let me tell you, there's not even, there's not even
uh,
Jordan and Scotty. I telling y'all, this is Lyndon is Jordan and I'm Rodman. That I will give you that example.
Rodman?
That,
Nah,
yeah,
no, no, no,
I
no,
will say
no,
so.
no, no, no.
Nah, I would
I,
look.
I,
I understand the Scotty Pippen thing, but here's my thing, right? Again, I always tell people, if you want somebody like at the point where you need the forefront for your team and front face to face with the customer in terms of that creativity and stuff, I'm your person. But what complements and lets me understand stuff on the back end is Lyndon. That process, that understanding, that fine tuning to make sure it's perfect, Lyndon. That's it. Like, that's just me. Derek said it doesn't work like that.
yeah, yeah, they were, that's what.
Rodman and Jordan, we mean as a band
Yeah,
duo.
no. As much as it's a real cool analogy between the two. I think Lyndon and Jared is a brilliant combo to take on the court. We'll go 2-on-2 with anybody, man. We'll go two
Yeah,
on two with anybody.
on the CS court.
So
I don't much with that, but
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
I'm following instructions and I'm
yeah,
enthusiastic
yeah,
about it. You know, love you as
yeah.
well. So
For real.
let's talk about as we get into. I want to talk about some key people who we met in our junior that I think are very very important. That of course will be TCJ events as Tisha Jack and
TJ.
Lisa
Yeah,
Douglas.
yeah.
Also to shout out to
Good
LaShawn.
Sean.
Also shout out to Karen.
Yeah.
You all have been very very instrumental in terms of our journey and being so inspiring to everything that we do overall. I think that's something that we can't underestimate in the environment. And I think if
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have the support of them, especially the two ladies, Tisha and Lizelle, I honestly
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
we've been
yeah.
where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think
Yeah,
for
that,
us,
that
you know,
that's that hands down. Yeah, hands down, hands down, hands down. A lot of what we aspired to do would not have been um possible at all. I mean, let's look at last year, right?
yeah,
Let's look at last year. So a lot of what we tried to do would not have been possible without Tisha, without Liesel, and then of course even Phyllis Jones and put in the first one in 2019's conference. So that was big. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I think somebody's saying that your speaker is hissing. That's Dennis on the other side.
yeah. I don't
So
know why though.
shall we?
Let me fix it. I wonder if
So
it's my audio.
Ishmael,
Is
good
my
afternoon,
audio not
brother.
clear?
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
Alright. Let me take off the headset and see. You guys, let me know if this is clearer. I apologize with the audio. Maybe it's time to get a new headset. You want to hear me better?
Nah, but go ahead, go ahead. We had to live with it. 'Cause-
Kerry, Dennis, let me know. Hit me a thumbs up if it's sounding good.
mhm,
I'm waiting for Kerry. Audio. Okay. Alright, let me continue. Good.
yeah. So
So,
JB boy, yeah. So JB, if we had to talk about a little bit now, a little bit as to what we have been doing, building for ourselves separately, that we have been able to work towards complementing together. Um, so for me, and I kind of speak a little bit on Jared, and then Jared will go into Jared, and I'll show you why they both complement each other so well. For me, I've been looking at the entire process, so that whole sales enablement journey and framework and structure and process, you know, and Jared has always been strong. That's one area I've always admired him on. Jared has always been strong as it relates to just giving those people that energy and helping them just understand the different concepts of the sales. So just getting down into the nitty gritty and acting on it now. So he's a real brilliant mind when it comes to breaking things down in the simplest form. Jared, if you just want to give them these areas that you have been developing on your end as well.
I think personally for me, what I've been developing is, I would honestly say the biggest contributor for me is my listening skills and then also to my creativity. So, like, I think something that really stretched me in 2020 and over the last couple of years is how much different things I've been able to create. Now people saying audio is bad. I'm confused.
Yeah, I think it might be better to put back on the headphones. Sorry about the on and off thing, but it seems as though the headphones was working better
Yeah.
when it
But
when it was on.
I think what
Hey,
is
Cassia.
interesting though, I think what is interesting though, in the whole thing, Cassia, what's been interesting in the whole mix of things is that when customers meet us, even though they meet us at different points, like if one customer reaches out to us, the
Mm-hmm.
conversation eventually comes back to the same thing from both of our end. Like we're able to identify like the same thing that they actually need to get done. And it is
Yeah.
identifying the problem. I think that is one thing. Like actually let's tell some funny stories. Let's tell about the time we were synchronized, and then let's tell about the time I stole and then under the bus on a call. Right?
You threw me
Uh,
under the bus on that call?
yeah, let's do that. At time there was a call with a client in Europe, and the client started talking to
Oh,
us and he was really interested. And then the client said, "So what does your pricing look like?" And I immediately said, "London, what does
yeah.
your pricing look like?" I said, "I don't get it."
Yeah. Jared sidestepped that question really.
So it's like, "What's your pricing look like, London?"
Yeah, I had to figure out. I had to just kind of mumble my way out to that. Maybe that's why he didn't call back, right?
Yeah, I don't
You
think
know?
he called back.
Yeah, he
But I
didn't
think
call back. He didn't call back.
they were in tourism, so I think they got affected really badly.
Right.
But here's the interesting one.
Yeah, man.
Let me show you how in St. Linda and I are when we come to certain issues. We met with a client in 2018 or 2019. 2018.
Let's see which
Sometime.
one it is. You go ahead.
There's in Barataria,
Go ahead. I think
right?
go
And
ahead, go ahead.
then what was interesting is that the client is talking to us. Now, this is exactly how the conversation went. They started
Mm-hmm.
off by bad talking somebody who we know is a fellow sales trainer. So for us, that was a red flag because we know the
Yeah.
person and the person is actually a good trainer. So when we heard that, we said, okay, we went through and we were asking questions, having a conversation, really understanding what was the issue, what the client was trying to get solved. Then the client was excited like an hour in and she said, oh my gosh, I can't wait. So when can you send us a proposal? And at the same time, unprompted, Linda and I didn't even look at each other and we said, oh, we're not sending you a proposal. Exactly before you. You remember that one?
Yeah, I
I
remember
was
that
like,
one.
we're not sending you a proposal. And I was like, no,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
your issue is not sales. You have other issues. It
Yeah, but
doesn't
it's
matter
yours.
what
Yeah, but
sales
it's
training
yours.
you get, the
Yeah.
problem would
It
not be
would always
solved.
be bad. Yeah. It would
Yeah,
always
it
be
would
bad. It
never be
would always be
solved.
bad.
And
Yeah.
I think you know what's been really fun on the journey with you is being confident to understand when to tell a client no. When you realize that
Yeah.
we understand what our principles are and what we like to deliver, and we
Mm-hmm.
know that if we go into something, as much as the client wants us to be a part of it, we know it's not the best thing for us. And when we look at long term for our business, like we even had that issue back and forth, what, last week or 2 weeks ago?
I think so.
Yeah, when you're
Yeah.
just debating on if to do business
Which
with a client
with a
because,
client. Yeah.
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 So
And
it's
I
been
think
a very
too.
fun journey.
Yeah. I think too, what JB, and this is something that I want you all to pay attention to with Jared. Jared is a magnet, right? And I think even one of Jared's mentors had mentioned it to him, where he says he has a strong appeal for the camera. But apart from that, is more than just that, right? So when Jared does his stuff and he just, apart from just having that appeal on the camera, Jared also drops some excellent knowledge. So I've seen Jared's delivery and everything else just grew, so that has been a real good thing to watch. So that's why I would always say his strength, like he's been able to just really grow. And as I say, it's always good when you can sit back and pay attention to your colleague and learn from them as well. So yeah, that's been brilliant in terms of just watching one of your colleagues, friends, teammates and stuff just do their thing and just watch them grow and blossom and stuff like that. So that's been a brilliant thing to just sit back and
If it's
uh,
one thing I do is that I
excellent.
pay attention. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I literally pay attention. And I think one of my gifts is that I can mimic very quickly.
All right.
If I understand the pattern in something, I could like immediately just duplicate it.
Yeah.
Let me try
I
one
think
thing,
too.
everyone.
Yeah.
Do,
Yeah. I think
do,
one of
do,
the
do,
things
do,
too,
do.
and I'll share this with you all while Jared fixes up his stuff, is not being afraid to ask the hard questions, because there is one other
If
story.
that doesn't work, then I don't know what is.
Yeah,
Right.
well, yeah. So not being afraid to ask the hard questions, because I remember in one of Jared and our first conversations, we went to a trade show. We got invited to have a meeting with another customer in Barataria area, right? And he was giving us a whole lot of stuff about this, that, and the third. And then we kind of sat back and we said, "But this is your job. So how come how come you are asking us to do this?" And the guy actually went. I think that was maybe one of our best gap sell moments without really understanding the gap sell, right? Because we really put it towards him as to, but why do you need us to do that for you? Because it was literally his job. That's his
Yep.
title. His title and his portfolio carried those things. And what happened is that the guy kind of sat back in his thing and he said, "But I know you're doing a good job at it, you know." And it wasn't to put any shade on the customer. It was just to clarify, help us really understand, like, why do you need us? Because this is your portfolio. So then what it really came back down to, Jared, is it really came back to him, and he was the manager.
It was
While the
good.
organization needed all the other support, yes, that's true. It came back down to him and how he was doing, how he was excelling. executing and managing. So, and it's kind of the things that we started saying in the beginning. Like if you really take the time and sit down, you really understand that sometimes it might be it might be 50% sales team and then 25% process and then 25% management. So it's just really taking the time to ask the hard questions in a respectful way, and just get a level of respect from your customers, and so that they appreciate what you're trying to do and you're trying to help them. And so
They understand the
it's been
value.
a really, really good journey.
And I could honestly say, just given the kind of questions we ask from both our end with Lyndon and I, it hits the customers from different approaches.
Yeah.
Excuse, and it kind of lets them understand how we bring the value to the whole thing. So we've done a conference so far. We've done two conferences so far, one physical, one virtual.
Hmm.
We're going to be doing the conference again this year, without a doubt. So then,
Hmm.
what do you see, in your opinion, where do you see sales the profession going? Hey, Carrie Ann, what's going on? And Victoria.
Boy, this year, without giving out too much, right? Are you talking about content or just how we want to deliver? All
I
right.
just see everything overall.
All
What do
right.
you think?
So, um, I think the role of SAP, it is growing to be a lot more in the space of a strong regional presence. I think also because of what we've been able to do and the people that we've been able to speak with, our insights are getting a lot deeper. Before when we started off, we just had a lot of personal knowledge from our day-to-day experiences, right? But now that we've been working with customers, seeing what's happening and that kind of stuff, we are actually seeing, well, wait a minute, insights are showing us, trends are showing us, customers' environments are showing us, customers' industries are showing us. So now when we bring in things to the table for
Yeah,
SAP, it's a real good mix. Sometimes to the point where we wonder if it's too high level for who we really want to give the value to. But at the end of the day, we wouldn't be who we say we are if we don't bring it to the table. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree with you on that. I really think a lot of things are high level, especially when you
yeah,
speak to customers. Um, I just think for us, when we look at stuff now in the next coming years, it's a lot of collaboration. And I think now, as I say, it's just trying to push to be more ahead of the curve so that you could bring that value back to people here in the market. Because I really think people are open to it. Some people aren't, but I think a lot more people are willing to take the chance. So I
yeah,
think that
yeah,
is one of
yeah,
the best benefits, right? So
yeah.
as Tisha said, without a doubt, the conference is happening. You wanna tell them what's the theme of the conference? I think that's what we should drop before we wrap up. What's the theme? What's
All
the
right.
theme?
So the theme of the conference is mind share before market share, and I will leave it as that. I'll leave it at that for one main reason. Can't remember the other part of it. It's not. I don't have my book in front of but mind share before market share, and that is a strong mix. That is a strong mix of a lot of things as it relates to the organization and what's happening in the industry. But most important, it's all about focusing on your buyer to become a
Yes,
better seller.
I
Yeah,
agree. And
yeah, man.
I will tell you, I am eagerly looking forward to seeing everything that we are developing out for this conference. So, say it again, mind share over market share.
Mind share before market share.
Mind share before market
Before
share.
market share. Yeah,
So you hear that? It's like that is the top priority. If you're not living in your buyer's mind, you're definitely
you're
not
not
going
gonna
to
buy
live in
from
your
us.
budget.
Yeah,
You ain't
yeah,
living in your budget.
yeah.
So that is it. So as I said, Lyndon, you know me, I'm always open. You're literally one of my have been become one of my closest friends. Actually, no,
Mm.
let's go personal. How Lyndon is as my closest friend. Lyndon helped to help me attempt to catch a mouse in my house once because I'm not a fan of rodents. And I kid you not, I was trying to find one and it was a mouse.
Oh, good.
9 or 10 o'clock at night, and Lyndon came and helped me out. Like I have a very small circle of friends. Lyndon is one of these people. This is how much I value your friendship. Like the other day,
Yeah, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Iguana
And
come in my
sure.
house, and I was like, do I call Lyndon? Do I take care of this myself? You know? And Lyndon had my mind share. That's
Yeah,
why I
man.
thought of you first.
Yeah, yeah,
Alright. So folks,
yeah,
one
man.
of the things
Thanks,
that I
bro.
can tell you we will commit to, you'll probably see it starting from next week, Wednesday, which will be the the first week in February to start off. We
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
doing um, our weekly episodes of Sales as a Profession on Wednesdays. We probably still have to
Yep.
decide if you'll be doing it in the morning or in the evening. That is the only toss-up. But you are going to be seeing episodes of Sales as a Profession, of a profession coming back, talking about sales, talking about the questions that we've been getting, and sharing as much knowledge as we know, because we know that's how we got to where we are now. Whatever we
Mm-hmm.
know, we just share it, all our thoughts. So thank you everybody for the support. Thank you everybody who always follows our content individually and as Sales as a Profession. Thank you for everybody who supports. Thank you for everybody on LinkedIn, on Instagram, in
Graham, yeah,
person.
yeah.
Everyone. Thank you, Tisha. Thank you, Liesel, Karen, Jalisa, the whole works, everybody who
JP,
spoken
everybody,
for us at the
everybody. Yeah.
conference, JP, everybody. Right?
Yeah.
We
So,
all are to you.
yeah, guys, you all have a great. And if we had to leave one thing with any of you all, like our journey started different, but we are still pushing towards what we want. We have
Yeah,
families, so we have to we this has to work for us, and we just want to let you guys know if we could do it, you all can do it as well, right?
yeah.
You all can do it. So let that be some encouragement to you all. Reach out to us if you all need any sort of support and that kind of thing. We love talking to you guys. Have a great night. Take care, guys. Peace.
All the best.
All right, man.